See you. So good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. First of all, want to thank you. Thank you, Susie. I was just going to talk about that. I just want to say I just like to practice what I preach in every minute of every day. And Friday, you guys, I was so tired. I was tired like in my guts. Okay, like this is how tired I was. I was so tired that I was out of words. Now, Josh, if you know me, Zach, Emily, Karen, if you know me, that is a big deal. For me to be out of words, I mean, it's like there not to be oxygen. And I was going to get on and I was going to do it. And I was like, if any of you called me up and said, what do you think I should do? I would say, listen, this is your community and you have to be taking care of yourself. And if anybody would understand that you're exhausted and need to take care of yourself, it's your community. So I took a risk, and want to also say I was asleep at 8:23. So before I even would have closed the kitchen with you all. And and I just want to say, like on Facebook, someone actually wrote that, I don't remember who, but just, it really meant so much to me. She said, you really gave me permission to, take care of myself. And my goodness, I mean, I was really tired, but if that was another outcome of it, that really means the world to me. And you guys, like, we can't give what we don't have. And I don't know, I have spent my life like going through people's binges and looking at the vulnerabilities and what happened. And I can tell you, like, 99% of them are when we say no, when we say yes, when we say yes, when we mean no, when we push ourselves past the point of exhaustion, And so the other reason I set that limit on Friday was like, I don't know, I didn't want to put myself at risk. These times are tough enough, unless I need to be exhausted myself over everything. So, and it's like a really exhausting time. I mean, I'm at the very bottom of how tired I think people must be right now. And I love you guys. Hi, Carson, my goddaughter's here. Yay. I love you. And so I wrote today's love letter. I have to tell you, I just writing about what's going on in the world, I felt, so uninformed, or so, I don't know, not undeserving by any means, but I just felt like, we have so much to talk about in all of this. And what I really want to say to you guys is, so much of what I'm reading about and how we can make a difference in this world, which, by the way, what's the point? I mean, not to get so existential, but just for a minute, let me get existential. Like, what is the point of this life? To love, to be loved, to show up for other people, to be of service, to make the world a better place, to leave it better than when you came in my opinion. That is the point of this. And, so in that way, like, I do have a lot to say about this. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, being brave. And the thing about it is, yes, like, this world is in unrest. I mean, this world is in unrest, and there are people being so incredibly brave and open and extending themselves. And I'm learning about how I can be more helpful. And, what and when I think about what a thief and what a terrorist being in, or sugar is, right, to so many of us, and how it steals from us. It doesn't allow for us to take risks. It shuts us down. It isolates us. What I've been talking about over and over and over again in the Close the Kitchen is how incredibly small it makes our vision. It makes us incredibly self-centered, like we can't get out of our own way when we're in the middle of the sugar. I don't know if anybody relates to that, but I certainly do in my own story. Like, even though I was struggling and suffering so badly, it was still like I couldn't care about other people when I was deep in the sugar. It didn't occur to me to do that. Or what I'm talking about, or I cared about people so much that I couldn't take care of myself. And so I wasn't even that useful doing it. You know what I mean? And remember what I say, and what I'll always say to you, which is that the answer is never the opposite. The answer is always the balance, but I really think in this time that is calling us to be brave, like that's all I'm reading about, you know, is being brave and being unequivocal, like really doing these hard things that make us uncomfortable, but also make the world a better place. Like, yeah, like that's not an easy call. That's not an easy task. Like nothing that's happening in our world right now, none of the solutions to the problems that we're up against, like as a community, like as a world, are easy, you guys. And so let me add to the list, neither is breaking up with sugar, and neither is getting out of an eating disorder, right? And neither is saying no to people because you need to stay home and take care of yourself so that you're the best version of yourself. Like neither was me canceling Close the Kitchen on Friday. And by the way, those are like small, teeny, minute. I mean, that was like not that big of a deal, but if you really, you know, if you are sitting here and you are struggling with your issues with food and weight, this is a really good time to take it seriously. This is a really good time to take it seriously. I have been helping people to create their very best relationships with food and break free of their addictions to food for 20 years, you know. I don't like that. I don't like to talk about that. It makes me feel so old, but here's what I know for sure, and I really want you to hear this if you're out there and you're like, it's too chaotic right now, I'm home too much, you know, with all the rationalizations that you come up. I'm going to tell you something which I know with absolute certainty. There's actually never a good time to start. This I know for sure. I always remember this girl, Jen, I treated in the way beginning of my career, and her second session, she walked in and she had this, she had a godmother, and her godmother had died, and her godmother was like as close to her as her real mother. And I was so young at the time, and I was like, so do you like want your money back? Like, gosh, this is like, what a hard time to be starting this. And she just looked at me and she goes, if I can do it through this, I can do it through anything. How do you think she ended up? She's amazing. She's so successful. And so, you know, if your contribution to this world is made bigger and better and brighter if you're out of your abusive relationship with food, if you're in one. If you're not in one, like, welcome. I don't really know what you're doing with us, but, you know, or like you're working on it and you're in recovery, and welcome, and I love you. But this is the time. This is the time to start it. This is the time to enhance it. This is the time to help others with it. This is the time to share. This is the time to show up. There's never been a better time to do it. There has never been a better time to do it. The rest is fake news. The rest is fake news. It is old. It is lies. It is just not true. There's never been a better time to show up big. And the way that you show up big is to do the brave thing, which is also the hard thing. That's the tricky part. The brave thing is, I always write like a little caveat in the love letter. You know what I mean? So I'll say it's almost always the hard thing. I'll be honest with you. You know, you're my besties. It's always the hard thing. The brave thing is always the hard thing. But it's the part where you get the most cash and prizes, 1,000% of the time. And I think the cash and prizes that we're talking about these days are not ones that we receive. It's ones that we give. And this world needs us all so badly. I can tell you, you know, you are the most wonderful people that I know. And so for all of you to band together and for all of you to be so committed to making this world a better place, there's nothing better. And it really starts with your relationship with food and your relationship with yourself. Not to say you can't be useful if you're like deep in a binge. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that's true. I'm just all about maximizing and doing your very best. And that's going to be like, I just know for me, like you guys, like I was like an actively addicted eating disorders therapist, you know, and, you know, I was a good therapist then, and I'm like an amazing, great therapist now. So, you know, you do the math on that. The world needs you. The world needs you badly. Badly, badly, badly. I need you. Our community needs you. We're 800 strong, 801 in our Facebook group now. So if you haven't joined, it's really the place to be. And yeah, so let's close the kitchen, my loves. Let us close the kitchen. And let me know how you're doing. You know, shoot me a DM, shoot me a something. Let me know how you're doing. Who's like, anybody counting days off sugar? Anybody celebrating anything? Anything you need us to start talking about? Post it in the Facebook group. I need some material, and the people who know you guys are on the front line, so you can let me know what it is we need to be talking about and what we need to be love lettering about. All right, hands on our hearts for ourselves, for our community. Good job, Crystal 48. I remember the minute you came in, girl. Hands on our hearts for our community, for ourselves, for everybody out there. We're closing the kitchen. Here we go. Amy's closing the kitchen. A fabulous, fabulous. Good. Zach has closed the kitchen. Amazing. Andy, 22 days, Andy. Yes. Susie's closed the kitchen. Sarah's closed the kitchen. Tolly's closed the kitchen. Amy's 156 days. Get it, girl. Josh has closed the kitchen. Bernadette, Zach, Cheryl, amazing. Rose, amazing. Enough is enough, girl. You get it. Molly's closed the kitchen. I'm so glad you're here, Molly. Amazing. Emily's closed the kitchen. Crystal, Diane, Zach, Oakland, Janice, amazing. Carol, Sarah, 4 months. Belinda, love you. I love you, my friend. I love you. You're incredible. You inspire me. Susie, Brenda's closed the kitchen. Carol, Mary, Ronnie, Janet, Fab, Sherry's closed the kitchen. Colleen, get it. 10 days, Colleen. Get it, get it. Teresa's 38 days. Close the kitchen. Get it. Every night you're on here, let us know. Amazing. Teresa's closed the kitchen. Susie, 45, halfway there. Janet's closed the kitchen. Janice. Cindy's going to close when she finishes her planned meal. Fabulous, my love, Belinda. You inspire me, you inspire me. You make me a better person. Those are the kinds of friends you need to have. Like my friend Belinda, she makes me a better person. She makes me rise up. Water seeks its own level. Don't forget that. So thank you for that, Belinda. All right. Well, there we have it. Another Close the Kitchen in the books, my loves. I will see you again on Tuesday night. So our schedule's Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Sunday night. Be here. If you're not in our Facebook group, get on it. And Beacon we're going to be launching some programs this week, some drop-in groups. So keep your eyes peeled because they're going to be incredible. Me, Susan, and Alex are all going to be launching these groups. So keep your eyes peeled. Lots of exciting things going on. And listen, I love you so much. And remember, always know this. This is not just a fun line, because I promise you this. If nobody has told you that they love you today, I love you. Okay? Mwah. Love you, my people.